Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani, your research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो. So that I know you all are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes because I see that people are joining in, and then we should be good to go with today's mid-market session in just a couple of minutes. If you're live, if you have just logged in, and if my audio and video is clear, you all can just let me know in the chat box uh, so that I know you all are with me live in the session. We just wait for another 30-40 seconds and then we should be good to go. Vishwanath ji, audio video clear. Okay, perfect. All right. Good afternoon, RDG. Great. So let us start off with the mid-market session today. But before that, again, I've been cautioning about since last 4-5 days. So beware of the impersonation scams, guys, because there are some fake individuals, WhatsApp groups, and websites that are misusing SBI Securities brand name. So there have been messages going around saying, we give these kind of services. These are some fixed returns that we promise. You pay for this service, etc. So don't fall for these scams, guys, because they are definitely not coming from SBI Securities. So don't reveal any of your personal data, don't pay for any services, and most importantly, don't fall for any of these scams. Always trust the verified handle. So you will see a blue tick. So always trust any communications that comes only from the verified handle of SBI Securities, and always stay vigilant. Only, like I said, trust communications only from SBI Securities. And in case if you come across any of such fake individuals or fake WhatsApp groups, do let us know. You can contact our helpline desk at 6854 so that we can take appropriate action regarding the same. So stay vigilant, guys. Okay. Now coming to an update on the global markets yesterday. So US markets had a extremely volatile session. So for I think that is largely got to do with the fact that Nvidia announced its quarterly results, which was above expectations. So if you see that Nvidia was up around 5%, and then from the highs it corrected and closed almost 3% lower. And we could see Dow Jones closed around 0.84%, S&P 500 closed around 1.56%, Nasdaq closed more than 2%, almost 2.15% down. So we could see the Nasdaq is kind of tech heavy, and Nvidia was the one which largely led the fall in the Nasdaq index. So US markets again are showing some signs of profit booking now. It's kind of entered into a an exhaustion phase at the top, and we could see some bets off the table in the US markets. Now, if you look at Dow futures, so Dow futures is up around 0.38%. So we can expect a slight flat to positive start to the US markets today. If we look at the European markets, so European markets post 2 days of selling that we saw in the European markets. So they have recovered yesterday. So Germany is up around 0.5%. London was up around 0.2%. France was up 0.34%. While the Eurostox index was marginally up around 0.2%. But if you look at the Asian markets, so Asian markets are under pressure. So Asian markets, we took cues from the US markets overnight. And our markets also took cues from the major Asian markets. So we are we started with a gap down, then there was a slight recovery. Then again, we saw some selling on an intraday basis. and we have seen some uptick now, but overall, largely the movement has not been that great on an intraday basis for us. So if you look at Nikkei is down around 2.4%. Hang Seng around 2.17% down, Shanghai up around down around 2.2%, Kospi down around 3.4%. So you can see there is a heavy sell-off that is taking place in these Asian markets. Compared to that, relatively our markets are doing well. Our Nifty is at 26,136 with a loss of 0.2%, and Sensex is down 0.2%. I think we are doing better, whether it's relative to the US markets or the other Asian markets. I think our markets are kind of well placed at the current juncture. Now, if you could see almost we could see from 13th November onwards, almost all the global indices we could see have been seeing some pressure, whether it's the US markets, whether it's the European markets. Our markets also, we were very close to hitting the all-time high yesterday. But then I think from there on, just tracking cues from the US and Asia, our markets also started off on a weak footing today. Now, if you look at the macro indicators, so dollar index still trades above the 100 mark. So any move above 100.3, 100.5, I think that can put more pressure to our markets, with around 98.5, 98.7 acting as a strong support. If we look at dollar by rupee, so dollar again, no signs of dollar weakening here. So dollar is at 88.66. So a major resistance level for dollar by rupee would be around 88.8 to 89. I think any move above 89 can put significant strain on our markets. If you look at the US government bonds 10-year yield, so that is relatively flat at around 4.6%, so 4.06 to 4.16% mark. So there are, considering the fact that the job data that has come in the US yesterday, so they have added more jobs. So chances are that, and what the market consensus is that Fed might not go for the rate cuts, and possibility because of Fed not cutting the rate cuts, there is higher chances that the yields can go up. So we have seen what is happening in the Japanese market. The Japanese long-term yields, which was you could probably borrow at 0% in Japan and probably invest somewhere else. So even the long-term yields in Japan has gone up to 1.72%. So the yields are rising in Japan as well. So that is prompting people to probably sell off their investments in other developed and emerging markets and probably move to safer markets like Japan at the current juncture. So that is one trigger in the markets that can probably weigh off on market sentiment in the coming days. If we look at crude oil, so crude oil prices have been going down. So today it is down around 1%. That is, I think, a positive sign for us. So right now it's at around $62 a barrel. So the support lies around $60 a barrel. Any move below $60, again, it's going to be a good sign for us. I think one interesting development today is India VIX. India VIX, agar aap dekhoge, it's up around 11% today. That is what is causing some discomfort to the bulls today. So I don't know why particularly India VIX has risen. Maybe that has got to do with the fact that the US markets ended up lower yesterday. So that has created some kind of panic or fear. And that is the reason why we opened with a gap down, and the intraday movement has relatively been choppy until then. So we've been discussing this. So I think with today's closing, it looks like India VIX might cross its 200-day EMA as well. And we've been discussing this level of 13.5. Right now it's at around 13.5 now. So so we need to keep tracking the VIX here. So any move above let's say 13.5, 14 can give that discomfort to the bulls, and probably we might not be hitting our all-time high very soon. Now, if we look at silver prices, so silver prices have been cooling off. It's at $49 an ounce. So like I said, there is some profit booking that is going on in silver as well. So as long as 46.30 is respected on the downside, the overall trend still remains positive for silver. uh if we look at gold, how gold has moved, so gold again is seeing some profit booking, while on the downside around $3,900 an ounce, that is going to be a strong support level for gold. As long as gold is above 3,900, the overall trend for gold remains positive. So the only thing to worry about as far as the macro indicators are concerned is the VIX here. So India VIX, keep a track on that, because any move above 13.5, 14, I think that can give some, not some, but a lot of discomfort to the bulls. Now, if we look at the FI positioning, so yesterday again, FIIs were net buyers in the cash market, though the quantum of buying was not that great. But nevertheless, they were net buyers to the tune of 284 crores in the cash market. So this followed almost 1,580 crores of buying that was seen on the 19th of November. But if we see what has happened this week is, so this week until now, so we are yet to see today's data. But for the 4 days, I think this week has been relatively good from the FII front. So they have bought almost 1,577 crores. So we'll have to wait and see as to what the data is for today, and we'll have to see whether they end up as net sellers or net buyers for this particular week. If we look at the net index futures contracts, again, no improvement in the long short ratio. The long short ratio continues to hover in that 12 to 12.5%. If we see from the last 4 trading sessions, there is not much has improved on the long short ratio front. It has stayed at 12%, 12.16, 12.24, 12.36. So it is gradually moving up higher. But again, no signs of any strong short covering by the FIIs. And despite the buying that we've seen in the cash market, I think FIIs still remain cautious. The key events to be tracked, one would be, I think the market is clearly awaiting the India-US trade deal as to when is that going to happen. So India-US trade deal is one thing. Secondly, market will be keenly looking at what the Fed comments, whether they go for interest rate cuts or not. And if they don't go for interest rate cuts, what is going to be their guidance ahead? Thirdly, what is RBI going to do with the rates with inflation at record lows in India? Chances are that RBI might go for either a 25 basis point or a 50 basis point rate cut in the coming meet. And as we move towards December and Jan, so Jan again, Q3 results will start coming in. So that is, I think the focus will shift to that. And then, of course, February 1st, we'll have the union budget. So from Jan onwards, you will see markets reacting to the pre-budget announcement, pre-budget news, and also the Q3 earnings that will follow in the month of Jan. So I think the major overhang for now for our markets, and especially for the markets worldwide, in particularly our markets, would be the India-US trade deal. I think the market is clearly awaiting as to when is that going to happen, and if and when that happens, whether that deal is constructive for both India as well as the US. Uh, Now, if we talk about an update on our markets, if we look at our indices, so Nifty, so if we look at the daily chart first, so yesterday we saw Nifty closing about 26,100. So 26,000 was acting as a strong resistance. Previously, 26,100 acted as a strong resistance. So 26,104, that was the high that was made by Nifty. So yesterday we got a breakout. Nifty almost hit a high of 26,246. So we were roughly around 31 points away from hitting our all-time highs. But again, we saw selling pressure picking up at the higher levels. So it seemed like the markets would give a follow-through move today, but due to the volatility that was seen in the US, we opened with a gap down today. So gap down ke baad, we tried to recover. There was some support from the large cap names, Reliance, Bharti Airtel, Axis Bank, but then the large caps even gave up some gains down, and then we went down and we moved until 25,060. Thereafter, we consolidated in that 26,060, 100 for quite some time. And now we could see that Nifty is again attempting a pullback towards the day's high, which is placed around 26,170. So on an intraday basis, purely 26,170, 26,175. That will be a key resistance level to watch out. I think if Nifty takes out 26,175, then chances are that we can move towards 26,200, 26,220. If not, then chances are that Nifty can take resistance around the 26,175 mark, and we could see probably another round of profit booking taking place in our market. So, and it's very important that Nifty closes about 26,100. Because that would mean that it gave a breakout about 26,100, and it could retest that same 2600, 2605 zone, and it could probably move higher. But if we close below 26,100, then we'll have to then we can probably expect a consolidation or a sideways movement as we start the monthly expiry week next Monday. And then probably we might get some good cues as to on the monthly expiry day, that is on Tuesday next week. So we'll also have the rollover data coming in. I think that could probably set the tone for the December series going ahead. If you look at Sensex, तो अगर हम Sensex की बात करें, so similarly even we got a breakout in Sensex. So 85,300 was a strong resistance level in Sensex. कल यहाँ पे एक अच्छा breakout मिला था, but again the chart structure is very similar to the structure that is seen in Nifty. So we could see that if we look at today's low, it is at around 85,195. And from there on, even on an intraday basis, we could see there is some recovery in Sensex as well. So Sensex is also attempting to move towards 85,600 on an intraday basis. That is where the day's high for Sensex is placed. So if it takes out 85,600, I think it can quickly move to 85,750, 85,800 on an intraday basis. But if not, probably it could find some resistance around the 85,600 mark. And maybe again, we could see some bout of profit booking again taking place if 85,600 fails to hold on the upside. If we look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty clearly has been an outperformer. So we could see that Nifty and Sensex are yet to hit their all-time highs, whereas Bank Nifty, if you see from the last 4 days, it's been consistently hitting fresh highs. So that underscores the strength in the banking space. Thanks to the rally that we've been seeing in the PSU banks, and off late even private banks have joined in. So if you see Nifty Bank, so for the last 4 days, we kept seeing higher highs, and today again we opened with a gap down, and then again Bank Nifty is again staging a recovery, and it's attempting to again move towards its previous high of 59,232. So if it goes past 59,200, 59,230, then it can fill the gap that it created today, and it can move towards 59,300 levels. But if it fails to hold 59,200, then chances are that we can see one more round of profit booking taking place in Bank Nifty as well. Now, one interesting observation, whether the rally that we've been seeing in Nifty, it's a broad-based rally, or only few names have participated in the rally, or is the market sentiment actually changed, or is all the mid caps, small caps, large caps are participating, or it's only the large caps? Or even in large caps, whether it's only select few names that is participating in this rally. So if you see Nifty, so currently Nifty is at almost 26,156. And if we take from the start of October, where Nifty had at a low of almost 24,587, 24,600. And from 24,600, we could see a sharp rally of until 26,160 now. But I read a very interesting piece today in Money Control. So what they mentioned here is, so Nifty has run close to 1,150 points. But one interesting take from this is that out of those 1,000, roughly around 1,500 points rise in Nifty, roughly only the top 13 stocks of Nifty 50 has contributed to the rally. So if you look at the top six stocks, that is your Reliance, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel, SBI, L&T, and Axis Bank. These six stocks have contributed close to 930 points in this 1,500 points rally that we saw from the start of October. And if you look at the next seven stocks, which is Infosys, Shriram Finance, HCL Tech, TCS, Mahindra, ICICI, Nation Paints, they have contributed almost 420 points. So roughly around 1350 points out of 150 points have just come from these 13 stocks here. But if you look at the other 26 stocks like Titan, Sun Pharma, SBI Life, Nestle, Bajaj Finance, they have contributed only 250 points. Whereas if you see almost 11 stocks, like if you look at Tata Motors, Passenger Vehicles, Hindustan Unilever, Trent, NTPC, Eternal, etc., in fact, they have not contributed anything. So they are down around 125 points here. So I feel a large part of this rally is got to do with some few large cap names, that to the top six stocks that have contributed to majority of the rise in Nifty here. And even if you look at the advanced decline ratio, so if you look at what is happening in the Nifty 500 space, you can see almost 405 stocks are in red and only 92 stocks are in green. So there is absolutely no support from the small cap and the mid cap index. It's only those select large cap names that are doing well. So it's despite us being at the all-time highs, mid cap and small caps have not at all done well in this market. So definitely this is not a broad-based rally wherein mid caps, small caps, large caps are all doing well. It's just that only few select large cap names are doing well, and this is despite the fact that the quarter two results were relatively better than the Q1. But despite the fact that only few large cap names, have done well in this rally. Now, if you look at mid cap 100, so अगर हम mid cap 100 की बात करें, so mid cap 100 again, though mid cap 100 has risen, so it also hit a fresh all-time high. So it hit a high of 61,211. But if we clearly see that small cap names is something that is relatively underperforming. So अगर हम small cap 100 की बात करें यहाँ पे, so we can clearly see that it is well far away from its all-time high. So all-time high was roughly around 19,680, and small cap is around 17,900 now. So clearly it's some pockets of mid-cap names, large cap names, that is only the top six, 13 stocks of large caps that is doing well. Small caps have definitely not participated in this rally. And one interesting observation is that if you look at Nifty by small cap 100 ratio chart, uh, okay. So I think we can clearly see that there is a breakout in this ratio chart as well. So this is Nifty by small cap. This clearly indicates that the relative strength is tilted in the favor of Nifty, that is towards the large cap names. And it clearly indicates that the small cap is underperforming. And with the breakout here, it seems like I think there can be more pain in the small cap stocks going ahead as well. So we'll have to wait and watch as to what could be that trigger that could lead to buying picking up in the small cap names. For now, it's only the large caps, that is again the top 13 names in the Nifty 50 space, that is contributing to this rally. But it's definitely not a broad-based rally, as we think as it is. Now, if we look at the key sectors and the stocks to watch out, so there is some traction that is building up in the auto space. So अगर हम auto space की बात करें, Nifty auto by Nifty's ratio chart, so we could see that the ratio line is kind of moving up higher. So a couple of names from the auto space. One is Mahindra and Mahindra. So Mahindra and Mahindra is near its high of 3,785. I think any breakout above this level is going to be positive for the counter, with around 3,680, 3,685 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, even Eicher Motors is looking good. So अगर हम Eicher Motors की बात करें, so you can see there is kind of a downward sloping trend line breakout yesterday, and today we are seeing a follow through move in Eicher Motors. The RSI has also moved above 60. Then we can also see that there is the DI plus has crossed over DI minus, and we could also see that the MACD line has crossed over the signal line here. So the indicators are kind of hinting at potential bullish move upwards, wherein it can take probably Eicher Motors to 7,300, in the short term, with around 7,025, 7,050 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, infra is also one space that is relatively doing well. So couple of names from the infra space. One is Bharti Airtel. So Bharti Airtel is probably one of the heavyweight names, that is holding up Nifty today, you can say. So Bharti Airtel is at 2,169. So it has again hit a fresh high, and I think it can continue to move up higher. And कल ही हमने देखा था FII का डेटा आया था for the first 15 days. FIIs have significantly ramped up investments in the telecommunication space. So they bought around roughly 9,143 crores in the first 15 days of November. And we've been seeing since the start of January this year, they have been like consistent buyers in the telecommunication space. And with the infra space doing well and Bharti Airtel at the all-time highs, high chances are that even Bharti Airtel can continue to move up higher, with around 2,120, 2,130 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, even Reliance. So Reliance is one another name that is doing well. So Reliance was moving in a consolidation phase for the past 6-7 trading sessions. We got a breakout, and there is a follow through move that is seen in Reliance as well. The RSI is well above, it's at around 76. ADX is also up. MACD slope is also pointing upwards. I feel even Reliance can move up higher. I think it can move towards 1600 mark in the short term, with around 1520 acting as a strong support for Reliance. Apart from that, couple of other stocks that are doing well. One is TBO Tech. So अगर हम TBO Tech देखेंगे तो आज एक अच्छा breakout देने वाला था ऐसे लग रहा था, but there is some profit booking at the higher levels, though the volume has picked up in the counter over the last 2 days. So any close above 1697 or 1700 is likely to be positive for the stock. I think the stock can move higher towards 1715, 1800 levels, with around 1590, 1600 acting as a strong support for the counter. Apart from that, even Narayana Rudralya, that is one another stock that you can keep in your radar. So Narayana Rudralya, almost in the start of August, it was moving in a tight range. Post the earnings, it gave a breakout of this range. So it was moving in that 1862, 1702 range since the start of August. Post the breakout, again, it's gone under a bit of sideways here, but it's slowly inching up higher. But I think any follow through move about 2050, 2060 is likely to be positive. And I think that could push Narayana Rudralya higher towards 2150, 2200 levels, with around 1920, 1930 zone acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, one another stock that you can keep in your radar is Sansera Engineering. अगर हम Sansera की बात करें, so Sansera has been moving up in a higher low formation. आप देखते आ रहे हो ये जो 20-day ये में है, यहाँ पे सपोर्ट लेके ऊपर गया, फिर सपोर्ट लेके ऊपर गया, फिर सपोर्ट लेके ऊपर गया. So this 20-day EMA is acting as a dynamic support for this counter. Previously, it was the 50-day EMA that was acting as a strong support, and now it's the 20-day EMA that is acting as a strong support here. So clearly, it shows that the trend is strong. It's trading above all the key moving averages. The ADX slope is pointing upwards with rising MACD histogram bars. RSI is also, post taking support at 60. It has, gone up with ADX also moving up. It indicates that the current bullish trend is strong. And if this continues, if we get a sustained move above 1620, then it can move towards 1670, 1690 levels in the short term, with around 1570, 1580 acting as a strong support for the stock. And the last stock that I want to discuss today is Eris Life Sciences. Eris, if you see, it gave a downward sloping trendline breakout yesterday. Though the morning session looked good for Eris, it looked like we might get a follow through move in this counter. But nevertheless, as long as it holds a 1600 on the downside, which is the support for Eris, I think any move above 1680, 1685 is likely to be positive. And any move above 1685 can lead to Eris moving towards 1740, 1750 levels in the short term, with 1600 acting as a strong support. So you could see it took strong support around its 200-day EMA of somewhere around 1560, 1530. And I think you can see there is also a double bottom breakout as well. So there are two bottoms here. There is a neckline. And I think any sustained move above 1670, 1680 is likely to be positive for this particular stock. And if we look at the heat map, again, there is support from the IT heavyweights, that is Infi and TCS. Bharti Airtel is doing well. Maruti, Mahindra, Eicher Motors, all these auto counters are doing well today. So it's one of the top gainers in today's session. Reliance is doing well. No support from the private banking space yet. HDFC is down 0.5%. ICICI Bank is down 0.77%. But if HDFC and ICICI starts going up, and maybe even SBI, Kotak and Axis. So if we get any support from the private banking space, then I think chances are that the second half can be very good and we can see a good recovery coming up in Nifty. But if auto starts giving up gains, if Reliance and TCS also starts giving up gains in the second half, then chances are that Nifty could relatively close below the 26,100 mark. So that was all about today's mid-market session. This was the last session for this particular week. I hope it was informative, and I hope you are finding some value in these mid-market sessions. And let us start off with our question and answer sessions. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer your queries. So Harish ji is asking, TCS secures $1 billion investment from TPG for AI data centers. Yeah, so IT again is seeing a rebound from the lows. See, TCS is good. Maybe wait for a strong closing above 3,200. I think it's in a good entry zone. I think from the lows, it's being moving in a higher low formation. I think maybe around 3,170, 3,200 is where you can probably look for probable entry, with around 3,080, 3,100 acting as a support for the stock. Amodji is saying Lemon Tree. So Lemon Tree again, see, the overall hotel space is relatively underperforming. Right now it's at around its 200-day EMA. थोड़ा सा एक strong reversal signs चाहिए अबे, maybe a close above 156, 160. I think उसके ऊपर chances है कि price थोड़ा pullback दे सकता है, but I think immediate keep a support of around 150, because below 150 I think it can fall further towards 145, 140. So it's around its 200-day EMA. थोड़ा सा reversal signs चाहिए, maybe a close above 160. Partha Saradhi ji saying Shakti Pumps. Shakti Pumps is down. You bought it at purchase at 940. I think Partha Saradhi ji maybe hold until 660. Keep a support of around 660, because that is a strong support for Shakti Pumps. I would say 645, 650. Keep 650 as a support. If it goes below 650, it's better to exit, but you can hold until 650. Or Keval ji is asking me for Swiggy. Keval ji, एक minute. Swiggy अभी के लिए avoid fresh buy, because ये सारे moving averages के नीचे है. आई थिंक 375 इसका एक इम्पोर्टेंट सपोर्ट है, यहाँ से रिवर्सल साइंस मिलना चाहिए. इफ नॉट, I think it can move down until 345. On the upside, wait for a breakout maybe above 410, 415. तो जब तक 410, 415 के ऊपर हमें क्लोजिंग नहीं मिलता है, it's better to avoid Swiggy for now. UPL is going down. Should I book profits? Maybe too early to book profits. Maybe if you want to book part profits, you can. But maybe you can hold on to your position as long as it stays above 735. Pramod ji, 735 एक स्टॉप लॉस लेके आप चल सकते हो. If it goes below 735, then you can probably book profits. But as long as it is above 735, you can continue to hold. केवल जी तो 375 का एसएल आप मेंटेन करके चल सकते हो स्विगी में, बिकॉज फिलहाल के लिए ट्रेंड अभी थोड़ा सा साइडवेज ही है यहाँ पे. सो अगर ये लो ब्रेक नहीं होना चाहिए, 375 का लो है, वहीं पे आप एसएल लेके आप चल सकते हो. आइशर मोटर्स आप कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर सकते हो श्रवण जी. Eicher Motors is in a good trend, and it's probably an auto sector is also doing well. You can carry forward. Not allowed to carry forward. Maybe वो अभी वो नया expiry आ जाएगा, right? I think हाँ, right, because Tuesday being the monthly expiry, I think the broker might not allow you to hold your position on Monday if you don't have enough required margin in your account. Maybe in that case, maybe you can book November positions and maybe get into December ka expiry mein. I think that is one option that you can look at. Dinesh ji, I have taken P trade in LIC Housing Finance double top and it has broken. Expecting okay, LIC Housing Finance. Oh yeah, very good. So LIC Housing, yeah, correct. So this is a double top. Oh, very good. So yeah, we have got a neckline breakout as well. So even if we take the distance from this high to this low and we kind of keep it here, so ideally the measured target around 525. Yes, Dinesh ji, 525, 530. Ideally, it should, that is the measured rule target for LIC Housing Finance. Maybe you can keep SL somewhere around 560, 560, 560, 562 के आसपास आप SL रख के इसको होल्ड कर सकते हैं. बट या दैट्स वेरी गुड. आई थिंक कल के सेशन में डबल टॉप पढ़ के आज का सेशन में आपने एंट्री भी ले लिया आपके. वेरी गुड. LIC Housing Finance. Madhavji is asking for BSC. BSC continue to hold. I think it's in a strong uptrend. Maybe you can hold with an SL of 2775, 2780. BSC is good. Maruti, let me look at Maruti. Maruti is good as well. Maruti की हम बात करें, so see, because today auto sector is doing well, so maybe again you can hold with around 15,600, 15,650 का SL रख के आप hold कर सकते हो, and you can gradually keep trailing, or even you can keep your SL at around 15,800 as well in Maruti. I think can continue to hold. Adani Enterprise. Avoid Adani Enterprise for now. Wait for a breakout above 2480, 2490. I think then chances are that Adani Enterprises can move up higher. But जब तक ये 2480, 2480 के ऊपर क्रॉस नहीं करता है, it's better to avoid Adani Enterprise. Yeah, so Tata Steel, I think both metal stocks अभी थोड़ा प्रेशर में है. I think that has got to do with the fact that I think कुछ import duty बढ़ा दिया था, right? वो कौन सा pet coke imports के लिए there was some import duty, anti-dumping duty that was announced. So तब से metal stocks थोड़ा सा pressure में है. Tata Steel, it is very important to hold above 170. If it doesn't hold above 170, if you don't get any reversal signs, then it's better to take off some profit and probably trail the remaining to around 167, because 168 is where 100-day EMA is, but around 167 ka SL rakh ke aap, I think it's better to take out some, do some profit booking in Tata Steel at current levels per, and maybe trail the remaining to 167. Nation Alum, I think is the same. Nation Alum, I think relatively it's not इतना ज्यादा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग नजर नहीं आया, बट मे बी नेशन आलम अराउंड 245 का एसएल रख के आप होल्ड कर सकते हो इसको. If you want, you can book 30-40% of your holdings in National Aluminium, and you can trail the remaining to maybe around 245, 247. Yeah, the same with Hindalco as well. Hindalco, ये आई थिंक जब तक ये 815 के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा तब तक अप ट्रेंड इज रूल्ड आउट. मे बी इट्स बेटर टू बुक सम प्रॉफिट्स इन Hindalco as well, and maybe trail the remaining to around 770 के आसपास आप ट्रेलिंग एसएल यूज कर सकते हैं. बिकॉज सारे मेटल स्टॉक्स, मेटल काउंटर्स में थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग चल चल रहा है. सो इट्स बेटर टू टेक सम प्रॉफिट्स and maybe look for a re-entry once we get some good reversal signs. Uh, Geo Finance, in fact, it's good, but I think wait for a breakout above 316. If you're already holding, then maybe around 300 is where 295, 300 is where you can keep your SL. GMDC maybe around 200-day EMA. This is where your SL can be at around 455. Ideally from 450, 455, 460 के आसपास शायद GMDC आ सकता है, और वहां से हमें एक रिवर्सल साइंस मिल सकता है. But if not, I think then we can expect even 400, 405 in GMDC. But ideally, this 450, 455 level is very crucial. That is where the 200-day EMA for the stock is placed. So keep an eye on this particular level in GMDC. Yeah. So any other questions, guys? You all can let me know in the chat box. Any other questions? Any other doubts? Do let me know. Okay, so if there are no other questions, so that's a wrap of this week's mid-market session. So we'll go for a rest now for the next couple of days. Saturday and Sunday, you can take some time off the markets, spend time with your families, and then we'll meet again on the 24th of November, that is on Monday. And until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on Monday for our mid-market session. And next week we will have a couple of webinars as well. So Tuesday we will be learning about chart patterns, that is part 2. And Thursday we'll be doing an important session, guys. So if you remember, so NSE has recently come up with a circular saying that there is going to be a pre-open session for FNO starting December 8. So what is all about this pre-open session? Because अभी तक कैश मार्केट में pre-open session हुआ करता था, अब FNO में भी pre-open market session होने वाला है. तो कैसे ओपनिंग प्राइस डिस्कवर होता है, ऑर्डर मैचिंग कैसे होता है, who can participate in this pre-open, all that we will be covering on Thursday, that is on the 27th. And 25th, we'll be having a session on chart patterns. But before that, we'll meet on Monday again at 12:30 on SBI Securities YouTube channel. Until then, happy weekend. Bye, guys. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you all soon. Take care, guys, and stay safe.